Hey there, in today's video I am sharing something that is very unusual for me, which is not really an unboxing, but kind of where I was on a trip and was in Paris, and I wanted to check out the brands, the store brands, Sennelier and Charvin. Actually, there was another soft pastel store that was not open. It's only open one day a week, so I was unable to go there. It's a very, very old store. And then also I was hoping to go to Le Franc Bourgeois they sell the flash paints, and I was hoping that they would have a store local in Paris as well, because we weren't in any of the other parts of the country. So anyway, I'm sharing with you the the oil pastels that I got at Sennelier and the paints that I got at Charvin, and just swatching those out and just telling you a little bit about it. I also was able to purchase a couple books that were very old and in French, and that is something that I'm going to incorporate into my art in the collage and possibly turn one into an art journal. So the reason I even hesitated in sharing this with you is because I am such a big proponent of use what you have, and not about going and buying more of something, more art supplies, more things that we just have, that we're just accumulating. I'm not about that. I'm about using it. But I typically on my trips, I do not do any kind of shopping, but on this trip I was like, oh my gosh, I could check out these brands that I really love and go to their little stores and see what, you know, where they're from, kind of thing. So in this respect, I kind of made an exception to the rule in terms of shopping when I'm on a trip. And my husband so kindly tucked those things into his carry-on, because that's all we take is just a very small bag. And we weren't gone that long, but anyway, so I kind of share with you what I bought. And the other thing is I want to mention is, because I don't, you know, I'm not saying go buy, and I'm not usually buying a bunch of stuff and then showing you all the things like I kind of am today, a little bit. I didn't buy a lot. But I also do want to mention that I do, in all my videos, include links below the video in the description if you are interested in buying a specific thing. So for example, it's a specific color or a specific art journal or something like that. I try to put those links below. And yes, Amazon does give me a small, very small, you know, I'm affiliate or whatever. So you don't make a lot off of it, but it all adds up because the videos are free. And if there's any, you know, any kickback from that, then, you know, I greatly appreciate if you do use the links if you are going to buy something that I have used in a video. Even though this is not about, you know, buying more or any of that, I just wanted to share my excitement over getting into those little cute, they were so cute, little tiny little stores, and we were all like squeezing in and moving around. And well, that's true for the Sennelier store. The Charvin store was wide open, but it was tiny. I mean, you just like walking through the little aisles, as were the bookstores. They're very like these old bookstores. So anyway, I'm sorry, I blather on. I have so much to tell you usually, or I want to share so much. And so I know this front end can be kind of heavy. So feel free to just, you know, zip on over, skip on past, and get to the part where I'm sharing the art supplies with you. But at this point, I have nothing left to say. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what I bought. Okay, here are the things I purchased when I was in Paris. And I purposely set out to go to the Charvin store and the Sennelier store, and I was hoping to find a book or two. Now, mind you, we travel with just carry-ons, so I didn't have room for a lot, and my husband so kindly tucked these into his carry-on. But so I wanted to show you what I got. So at the Sennelier store, which was just the cutest thing, it was so packed, so tiny. There were a million people in there, and I'm exaggerating, but it's I'll drop in a couple pictures because it was really super crowded. I could hardly squeeze around. And so I had already kind of decided ahead of time that I wanted to get these oil pastels. And so I just went in and got, you know, kind of chose from the larger, chunkier sizes, which are ones that I prefer. I do have a set of the smaller ones. Not a full set here. Let me grab it over here. A whole bunch of the smaller ones mixed in with some other brands besides the Sennelier, but I really prefer my large chunky ones. So I was excited to have a whole collection to browse through in the store there. The other place I was really keen to go to was Charvin, and I looked all over. I don't actually have any Charvin paint right now, but I have had it in the past and I love it. And here, look at this. Look at this. Look how cute this packaging is. Like, is this the sweetest thing? It makes me want to go in and purchase it just because I love beautiful packaging. And then also, why is it that their tubes look like this? And let me grab one of these. And the Liquitex looks like it belongs in a medicine cabinet. And even the golden, why do they look like this? Why do they look generic and kind of boring? And the Charvin is beautiful. Is that not? It's like I want to put it up on, I want to frame it. It's so beautiful. So I thought today I would swatch these out for you and just show you. And I just want to say, again, why can't all paint look like this? Why can't it just be beautifully packaged? I doubt this costs any more than this. And yet look at the difference, okay? I'm a sucker for beautiful packaging. So that's that. And then we happened upon this really old bookstore, the Abbey Bookshop, and it was one of the oldest bookstores in the city, and it had these little nooks and crannies that you could go into, and it was like you had to turn sideways to get through. It was just this coolest, craziest place in the left bank, and we just happened to be walking. This was not a purposeful attempt to go anywhere. And so then I had to buy a book in there. And so I found an old book with brown around the edges, which is just beautiful. And I can use that in my collage. I just love it. It's just every page is going to be really, really special to use. So I'm super excited about that. Then we happened upon another, I'm going to set this aside, another bookstore that was also super cool and very old. And I found this children's book of Gulliver's Travels. And the reason I like this so much, besides the brown and the old, and I haven't really decided if I want to convert this whole thing into an art journal, which would be amazing. And I do that quite a bit and take out some of the pages and work on top of this, which I may, because I love this size. The size is just really, I just love everything about this, and maybe that's what I should do. Haven't really decided, but definitely these pages. And I like the bigger type font, and I think this would be a really fun paper to use as collage as well, which of course I will. I think I've talked myself into actually using this as an art journal. Don't you think? I think this would be great. So then the last thing I want to show you is we were at the airport on the way out, and I saw these magazines. They were just for free. And I remember hearing another artist say, oh, grab all the free things with different kinds of font, with the front that has some English. And you can use that also in your art journaling or collaging or whatever it is that you happen to be doing, but it gives you the French words. So I grabbed, there were these two both were free at the airport. And so I grabbed both of them. And some of these I might even use the photos to use as in collage, or to paint over them, or to use them as something that I'm copying. So anyway, as inspiration, those were both free at the airport, so I grabbed those at the last minute. And then this little booklet was at the Eiffel Tower, and so I grabbed that as well. This is, maybe I won't use it. It's a little more childlike and not quite my style, but maybe some of this text could be incorporated or something. I don't know. I just wish I had kept my eyes out and grabbed like a newspaper or some other kind of written text. I think would have been printed text. I mean, would have been really cool. So anyway, I'm gonna swatch these, but I just wanted to show you what I got. And it was, just a few things, but very meaningful. And I have not ever purposely set out to do something like this before, to go specifically to an art store in the hopes of getting, a brand. But this was very meaningful for me. I don't pick up trinkets or buy anything on a trip typically. So this was really fun to do. And just to see, I think when you're really into making art, it's fun to see like some of the original stores, or stores that are, native to a specific country. So anyway, let's get on and let's check these out. Check out these colors. I thought I'd start with the Sennelier Oil Pastels. And then maybe I'll even, I think I'm going to swatch all of them, just to kind of show you. I love the creaminess of them. And I know some people don't like oil pastels, but I find them great, especially for finishing touches. I have done full art with them, but typically I just use them as part of a mixed media thing. Well, I was going to say experience. That's a weird word to say, but it's part of making art. It's like, oh, I can add this final thing in oil pastel without getting out paints or some other medium. Now, I do seal my oil pastels with a spray fixative, and I think it's the Sennelier brand actually. So I can link that below if you're interested. So this color is brown ochre, not to be confused with this color, which is, some of them don't say, they're different numbers. So if they're the same, I'll be surprised. This is 215, this is 241. So let's just see what happens. Let's just see. And I don't know if you can see how creamy and nice that is. I want to put them back in the box, but I guess I will. And it can mix, you can rub it with your finger. Sometimes I use, let me grab one of these. They're like little mini color shaper kind of things that you can move paint the oil pastel around, and I found these really great tools for doing that. Let's check out this color and see how different they are. I think they are a little bit different. This color is actually, I think, a little darker, so I'm going to set that one aside. But I'm going to use this tool because I really do like it. I don't mind using my finger, but I really do like that. They are two different. They are slightly different. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but this one is darker than this one. Okay, let's do the blue. This is a beautiful blue. Blue gray it is called. So we just go straight across here. I have a couple blues I will do. Okay. Ooh, that is pretty. It's a little lighter than I thought it might be, but and of course I didn't clean that off, so we got a little bit of the ochre in there, but so pretty. Okay, let's try these other blues that I already have. This one is, like I said, they don't really say what they are. So I guess we'll go with it. This one is really, I like it, but it definitely is thick. It's not as creamy, so it probably is one of my older ones. I kind of stopped using them for a while, but I love that color too. Those look really good together. That would be beautiful. And then I guess I'll show this one. This is kind of in the blue family, blue-green family. This is like a turquoisey color. Aqua, okay. Not sure where to set them, over there. Okay. So, yeah, beautiful. Okay, and actually, since I'm doing that, I'm gonna go straight into this green here, and this one is a green as well, so I'll do that one too. And this, yeah, the ones I have from the past don't actually have what they are, but they're beautiful. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this green because this is a very dark sap green, I think. This is an olivey green, green-brown. Okay. And then I'm going to go down here. Look at that, forest green. I think this was actually a sap green. I think the reason it's like a teeny tiny little print, and probably if you even move the paper a little bit, you won't see it. So, oh, that's really pretty. So this is a nice, I think this is a nice, these are colors that, are obviously really resonate with me. And so this is why you're seeing those. But obviously they do have bright colors too. And this is a brown, probably a raw umber. And this is black, I believe. Oh no, it's blue. Okay. Huh, okay. Well, see, that's just it. You just don't know. When they're dark like this, they all look the same. So I should have put that up with the blues. And that's why it's good to swatch them once in a while. But I do like this blue. I like this blue better than this blue. This is a little bright. Okay, and then let's do these last two that I have. This is I thought this was going to be darker. I don't know why I keep looking for maybe some kind of orange, something Mars orange, I think. I guess I could wipe this off. Here, let's wipe that off so I'm not. Actually, I do kind of like that. I look at it and I think, oh, I'm not going to like it, but then I swatch it and I do like it. And this is really creamy. So I can tell some of them are older than others. The really creamy ones, are newer, and then some of the older ones. I think I could probably cut the top off and get down to the more of the creaminess. But these are colors, obviously, that I love for the most part, even though I act like I don't even know, like I didn't know about this blue one. So here they are. They're all kind of wrapped up. The reason I like these bigger ones over the smaller ones for a couple reasons. One, I feel like you can be really generous when you're using the big ones. You just can go for it. Whereas these small ones, and let me move this box out of the way. Let me pull those over here. As you can see, they're definitely much more affordable, and you're not gonna they're not gonna probably get, like, some of these are getting thicker, but it's harder to be, let's just take this gray for an example. It's just, I feel like when I'm using it, I feel like I might snap it in half, and that there's nothing wrong with that, but it puts the same color on, you know, it's the same beautiful color and it's very smooth, but it's not gonna be the same, it's just not as easy to use as these big ones. If you're working on a small area, for sure. But if you want to cover a large area and just kind of really go for it, these are they're just wonderful. And they're smooth and creamy for the most part. And they last a long time. These, as you can see, you know, a lot of them have broken as I'm using them. I try to be careful, not because I don't care if they break, which is true, but they're easier to use when they're in their fullest stick form. Let me grab one more. Where's a color that I like? I like a lot of colors, but sometimes I like some colors more than others. Let's try this. This looks very similar to that one I just bought. Maybe it is. Let's look at it. Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it? So I had it in the small version, didn't even really probably realize it. But I'm glad to have it in the big. So anyway, those are the Sennelier. These are the new colors I got. These are ones that I do reach for over and over again. And obviously I have a set in here. I tend more towards kind of neutrally colors, so that's why you're not seeing a lot of pops of bright. There's a little pop of bright. These two colors are a little brighter. But, you know, I think like anything, just finding a few colors that you're really drawn to, it can add some great interest, particularly at the end of your piece. And I actually have used them underneath as well. Like I have used I know I'm going off track here. I have used oil pastels and I've done all kinds of designs and patterns, and then I have painted acrylic paint over the top and then scratched back through it. And I love that effect because you don't know what colors are going to pop through. So highly recommend that. I might even have a video on that. And if I can find it, I will link it below. Most people would say don't ever do that, but I don't know. There's a lot of things that I do because I'm prone to experimenting and I'm going to try new things. I don't mind if it doesn't work out. And also, I'm not under the impression that my stuff has to last for, 500 years or even 100 years or even 50 years, right? I'm just making art that I like and I'm trying new things. And if that corrodes or separates from the paint down the road, that's okay to me because it's more about the process and than it is about the survival rate. And honestly, I have seen works of art in museums on cardboard and on other fragile things, and somehow it survives. So just because something isn't archival doesn't mean it won't last, not necessarily. So anyway, those are my words for today. I'm gonna go grab the Charvin paints and we'll swatch those out. I decided to use this book and swatch out the paint since I only have 3 colors onto these book pages. So I'm gonna set that book aside and we'll just do it right on here. I have not clear gessoed or done anything to this. So how the paint sits on this paper might be different than it would if you had gesso or something on, especially fragile pages like this. So again, the adorable box, the beautiful paints, and the colors I got. Let's start with this first one, which is sepia. So let's just try it out. I tried to get colors that I didn't have, so I'm actually just going to put it straight onto this palette knife. And let's see. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? That brown. Oh. So you can spread it thin where you can see the text through. You can have it a little bit thicker. Yeah, it's like a heavier body paint, which I tend towards. Okay, beautiful. There's the first one. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this off over here. And there you go. Okay, and of course, let's see here. nice. I'll pull that out. The next one is a khaki, and I think it might be, the tube look green, but it's maybe a greenish, brownish, even though it's called khaki. Okay. Oh, it looks very green, yeah. So, oh wow, look at that. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. It's very bright, these lights, sorry. It's a very dark day, and so I put my lights on pretty bright, and then I'm seeing, it's reflecting because it's wet. Okay, that's really pretty. It's like it's almost like the green, I'm trying to think, green oxide. It's really great. And again, you can bring it so that you can see the text or have it a little bit thicker, however, great. That's beautiful. Okay. See, I didn't really get a chance to see these colors ahead of time. I just had to kind of look at the tube. There wasn't a testing station or anything, but I just kind of went with my gut, like the colors I really thought I would like, and colors that, even though I probably have, you know, something similar, I went with colors I liked and then colors I thought I would use. So, okay, this one is called French Blue. So oh, this might be a little brighter than I thought, but that might still be, okay. This is more like ultramarine maybe, but it's a little brighter than I would think, but I like it. I might, let me grab my white. Okay, I got my big industrial white over here. I just want to see what it looks like with a little bit of white in it. My contaminated white. Yeah, now I want to put brown into it. Now I want to do color mixing. So anyway, that's kind of, I could have done white, a little bit of white with each of them, but I think that's pretty. It's a little brighter, but it's definitely a beautiful blue, and I think it will work. And often I put, you know, I mostly mix colors anyway. I don't use them right out of the tube. So odds are this will be mixed in with some kind of raw umber or the sepia color or green. I mix it with white. I mix all kind of colors, gray, whatever. So this, it's, you know, it's, even if it's a little brighter than maybe I would normally use, I think it's, yeah, I'll of course find a place for it. So, and of course, you know, again, the tubes are just, aren't they beautiful? So not to get you to run out and buy anything, because of course that's not my intention, but I just wanted to show you that on a special trip, I bought a few special art supplies, and it was very meaningful to me in a time when I do not splurge and just walk into a store and buy any kind of art supply. It usually has to be on sale, on a discount, or I buy it in bulk and then, you know, do all kinds of, you know, sell the other ones or something like that. So this was a real treat to do that. And of course, being in Paris was really an awesome experience. And being able to go into these really unique and beautiful art stores was a real treat, and I don't take that for granted. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. And anyway, that's all for this week, and I will, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.